Hi. You know what? That wasn't good enough. Let me do this again, like I mean it. And that was your claw. I did not think that was good. All right. Can you guys see me okay? I don't know how I got something on my screen that's blocking so I can't see myself. So I can't see. Okay. There. Welcome to my live stream. Today is an update on what's going on in Atlantic County, New Jersey. That's where Atlantic City is. Regarding the coronavirus, I have lots of friends who do have things like Facebook Messenger and what have you. And so I have people who are letting me know what's going on, the people who are out and about, people who have to access social services, the people who have friends and neighbors who maybe might be in the medical field, friends and neighbors who are maybe police officers. And I have some good news to report and some bad news. Good news is there are people that are finally taking precautions. The word has finally gotten out. People are wearing some kind of a mask, anything to cover their faces. Social distancing is being enforced by volunteers at social service agencies. They seem to have staff, I was told, that will actually stand out in traffic, not that there is really any traffic, making sure that people stay at least 6 feet away. People are being careful. There's lots of reports of people wearing masks, people also wearing scarves. Okay, Tabby boy. The president himself said that a heavy scarf might be better than some of these surgical masks. And as a matter of fact, when I went to go and put a bill in the mail, this is what I did. Try heavy knot. Okay. That's better than nothing. And that way you know that you're not taking from the masks that are needed by our medical people. It's a shame that you still you hear about hospitals that are short on personal protective gear and stuff. So really, if you don't absolutely need it, maybe you should make sure that they have their gear. But yeah, people are finally starting to get it. And also now there are heard two conflicting sets of reports. I heard on one hand that people were afraid that there might be less people being able to get stuff in some food banks because there were less drivers. People were calling in sick or otherwise could not participate. But then on the other hand, there were other reports that there are still deliveries and pickups being made, and you're still seeing personnel with rubber gloves and masks and everything that are making sure that food goes from trucks to the places that serve needy people and hungry people. So that is still going on. There is still a chain going on. There's still trucks on the road, and there's people that are still driving. Yes, Tabby boy, I'll let you out in a minute. So yes, but hopefully people will not be greedy and hoarding things. I heard that there is still a need for people to have diapers and baby formula. That hoarding toilet paper is bad enough, but don't be hoarding baby supplies and stuff. Now, I don't know if that's going on specifically here in Atlantic County, but at least people are getting the message. All the boarding houses around here, they all have signs saying no visitors. That has been on for the past couple of weeks. I have many friends that live, in them. So, and I'm also told that most stores and places have signs. Don't you dare get on my keyboard. Cassie, get on my keyboard. It's bad enough. Tabby, I better open the door. Let him out. Okay, Tabby boy, go, go. Yeah, Cassie on on that little Chromebook keyboard. If Tabby boy got on it, he would mess it up. So yes, they are now. That I told you I would have good news, and I also have some bad news. Now in Atlantic County, we have had the virus for at least a couple of weeks. Well, as this information is good as of 3-4 hours ago, we had our first fatality. We had 61 cases of COVID-19 in Atlantic County. But again, this is only information, and that information might even be up to 12 hours old. So I am not, I can't keep track of everything. I'm trying to take care of everything here at home, just like every other person seems to be, and run my channel and do these things. But I thought it was really important to give you guys an update on what's going on, because I don't want to, because of the last things I've been saying have been negative, and since people are starting to do things, I don't want it to seem like I'm slandering or libeling or insulting people that are really trying to make an effort. If we all do our parts in whatever capacity that is, let's not be divisive and rag on each other. Let's at least agree on the common good that we want to try to avoid. You want to defeat this thing, want to stop the spread of misinformation. Please encourage people who still they're climbing out of a rock or something and they haven't figured it out. Please, we are going to have to kind of police ourselves if we want to avoid the government taking stricter actions that would be interfering with our civil liberties. This is touching me on a personal note. I am definitely not wanting to do any traveling because I'm afraid of catching it, or if I already have it and I'm a carrier, I don't want to inadvertently transmit it to somebody else. And, that scares me. But also, I have a surgery which is not an elective surgery that has been due since July 4th, some dental surgery, and certain things like that you cannot put it off, and yet I have been, and it seems to me that I could get the medical care done there in Washington D.C., but I don't want to travel. What if I'm going to be taking buses on the way and then public transit or whatever? No, it would be irresponsible for me to do it. What if I happen to rub elbows with a senior citizen or something? I just I can't take a chance of giving to somebody else or catching it or whatever, and yet I shouldn't have to be traveling out of state for medical care. But like I said, that's not something that I think of as elective either. And if most things, yes, if you can do telemedicine, I agree, but you can't get dental surgery through the Wi-Fi. So let's just hope that this situation gets resolved as quickly as possible. And that means we got to hunker down more. If that means that we have the summer blown, which I hope to God it hasn't true, but really this is unprecedented. I mean, this is so many people say that this is like a biblical plague that we have going on now. And all I know is this is something like something that you would see in a science fiction movie or something that we're all going through. So, but we have to really accept that this is our current reality here. These days are not going to last forever. Just try to avoid people as much as humanly possible. Do all your shopping online. Hopefully, you have enough provisions. You don't need to hoard the TP, and especially not the baby formula and the diapers and stuff. I heard that was going on like in places like Florida and stuff. I don't even have kids, and I'm thinking how that would feel to be a family that was going through that. So please be well, be safe, stay indoors, and oh yeah, and if you're really lonely and you have the time, even after things get back to normal, consider fostering a dog or cat in the shelters. They need, if you're sitting at home all the time, working from home or something, now you have time to devote to an animal. You can help to socialize a feral cat that's not quite so wild, that if you get them used to people, and if you're sitting at home and you're able to work from home and you could look after an animal, think of that something you could do while you're home. And fostering is not the same thing as committing to the life of the animal. Fostering is something you agree upon for X number of weeks or X number of months. And many times the fosters do end up falling in love with the animal. And again, if it's something that you can financially afford, I won't, there's no secret that taking care of an animal does have its costs. Even if you get certain things free sometimes, it's still, it's good to have a family with you to help to make sure that the animals are always taken care of. But if you have it in your heart and in your space, we need the animal shelters, especially those kill shelters. If you can get animals out of them so that, it frees up space for other animals, because I hate to think about the people that are giving up their pets because of what's happening with the economy. Maybe you guys are going to get your stimulus check soon. I don't know. I mean, some people qualify, some don't, depending on a lot of things. Do your research. The information's out there. But yes, please, if you don't have a surgical mask of some kind. Oh, another thing on surgical masks. I noticed I did a search locally for face masks, and I put in certain stores like CVS and Walgreens and Rite Aid. I'm talking about stores that are local to me that I could walk to if I wanted to. And all of them say, when under where the price is, go to the store and ask. So they're not printing it. And doesn't that smell a little funny to you? Oh, I'm asking for a price quote on something. If I wanted to buy a can of pork and beans, the price would be right there, 49 cents or whatever they have. But no, for the masks, yeah, that was kind of sad. And I'm sure not going to walk a couple of miles someplace and risk getting into people. I mean, I'm an online shopper now. And there's food I don't need to do online because, and I've never shopped for food online before. That seems kind of a little ridiculous. And I'm thinking of how heavy those boxes would be. And then you would have to think of the kind of packaging, think of who's going to be doing the shipping. And considering that the problems that my household has been having with getting packages, that they always get misdelivered, or it's so ridiculous. That's its own subject. So that's the one thing about shopping online. You have to worry about getting your packages. But groceries, think of how heavy canned goods and stuff are. So I might consider getting pet products with online shipping if we ever run low. But I think my household is good for the pet stuff. We should be good for a good 3 or 4 months of civil unrest, the way I see it. So that's why I don't understand these people that are crowding to get things in the last minute, and crowding out the senior citizens that only got one or two things. I noticed a lot of places are setting aside an hour first thing when they open up just for the senior citizens so that they can get, or maybe, new mothers, so they can get their formula and stuff, certain things, diapers, certain things that you need. So because the truckers are out there, they are dropping off supplies to the stores. That's what I'm hearing online. That's what is happening. I talk to people who say that they're truckers that are in different chat rooms that I talk to. So there are out there people that just newly got hired at stores doing checkout and stuff. So yes, the food and the stuff is out there. Just it's a shame that people are getting gouged on the masks and stuff. But if you got a scarf like I got, we're getting out of wintertime. You got them. Just wrap them tight around yourself. You know. So that's a real. And again, but keep your mouth shut though. The temptation is to open your mouth because it's a lot easier to breathe. But then opening your mouth is just like being a sieve with your mouth open, standing with your back underneath the shower. The water is going to get in, and the virus again can get in. Oh, did you hear? Speaking of virus getting in places, now they say keep 6 feet distancing. Now, I swear I saw something on TV talking about how if it's windy, okay, you know how after 6 feet, because of gravity, a person coughs or spits or whatever, it falls out for a while, it goes out for a while, and then it goes down. Well, if it's a windy day, the air could, in theory, bring droplets of virus more than just 6 feet. You could have, say, you had a second floor window and your window was open. Even if you had a screen, theoretically, droplets with the virus could come in your window. Or if you're sticking your head out your window to take a look at this, survey your neighborhood, what if the virus was in there and it got in your mouth or in your nose or whatever? And it'd still get in your nose, even if your mouth is closed. And what are you going to do? Hold your breath? I doubt most people do, especially if you're thinking you're getting fresh air. But that's something to think about. What if the virus can be caught that way? If that's the case, then we are screwed. And of course, the more dense your population, your neighborhood is, you know. So please, everybody, be safe, especially even you people out in the remote areas. If you happen to be watching this, you're probably catching me on the rebroadcast. I want you guys to be safe, okay? People around here are finally starting to have a clue. I'm seeing more and more masks out my window. But unfortunately, I'm still seeing a lot of the riffraff doing their thing. But even then, when they decide to have their little dope dealer conventions, they have been, sometimes one will be on one side of chain link fence and one will be on the other and stuff. So, but you have to be from Mars and speak another language and not know what's going on. So be safe. I said what I had to say. Didn't want this to run on too long. Take care, everybody. And yeah, don't get the virus, please. And if you are running around for whatever reason because you have to work, please be careful if you're coming home to people that might be at risk. Your senior citizens, your people with compromised immune systems, please, be careful. Okay? Take care, you guys.